There is a place that is spoken about only in whispers. A dark area that spawns the beginnings of urban legends. A place where anything can happen and usually does. During the light of day, it hides just outside of view. But when the sun goes down, spirits, creatures of the night, roam free, and things do go bump in the night. It is in every state and every country, and there is no escaping it, no matter how safe you feel behind your locked doors and latched windows. So we invite you to turn down the lights and turn up your radio while we join Dave Schrader and Tim Dennis, your hosts, on a journey into the darkness on the edge of town.
Hello and welcome. It's a brand new week and you're tuned in to the best in paranormal talk radio. This is Beyond the Darkness on a Margarita Monday. Let's clink our glasses and get this thing started, Tim. All right, you guys, hold on. Okay, you guys wanted us to bring you another Cinco De Ocho. Unfortunately, it is...
Turn that down a little.
Little bit. Am I a little loud in your ears?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up. It is Cinco De Ocho, Tim.
It's not Cinco De Ocho yet?
Nope, that's tomorrow. It's Cinco De Ocho today.
Cinco De Ocho.
But we are a little late in putting up the show, as many of you are realizing.
Because we've been drinking.
No, that's part of it.
Okay.
But the other part is the fact that I worked all weekend at Wizard World.
Yeah, I
Comic-Con.
worked too.
And right, and we figured we can't drink, record a show, and then go work at the Wizard World Comic-Con. So we are doing this live here on Monday. We're recording it for you. It's going to be posted directly after we're done recording. We are throwing back margaritas on this Margarita Monday. We're going to have a little fun with whatever happens today. And I blame the listeners, Tim. So if this goes horribly off the rails, it's all on them.
It's all your fault.
Ask two stupid guys to drink and share news. What you're about to get is completely your fault.
Check something for me. This is so raw. You ready?
Right.
Are you sure we're in a double setting here on the mic? This sounds so bad.
I told you. You said it to the wrong. You said it to the coupling.
There we go. No. I can hear you now.
No, now you can hear me.
Now I can hear you.
Now you can.
I can hear you both.
One of us started drinking a little earlier than the other one.
I can hear you both.
And I've just realized the mystery of this faux pas is that you have to do the substantial amount of reading.
You said give me the infinity symbol, and I thought that meant number one on the middle finger.
No. Those are the coupling Pac-Man figures on the microphone.
All
right, here's what's going on. We've got advertisers today, too.
We do.
We've got to take it care of. But this is what people can look forward to this week.
Okay.
On Tuesday, a good friend of our show who has not been on in probably 8 years, Linda Zimmerman, is going to return.
Really?
And we're going to talk about Hudson Valley UFOs. Hudson Valley is filled with amazing cases of triangles, saucers, abductions, and sightings ranging from 1908 until today. So we're going to talk about a lot of these sightings and stories from the historian of the area, Linda Zimmerman. Wednesday, our good friend Nikki Folsom is going to join me. Nikki has been on almost all of my foreign trips, Tim.
Okay.
And she and her husband, Eric, have traveled to a lot of the paranormal conferences, and she has finally written a book. She is busy behind the scenes of theater in Texas a lot.
All right.
And one of the theaters she works in is the Harlequin Theater.
Exactly.
That's why I was going to let you do the reading. The Haunted Harlequin Theater.
Right.
Ghostly experiences behind the scenes. That's Nikki Folsom on Wednesday. Thursday, Timothy Renner. No relationship to Jeremy Renner. No.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about Bigfoot in Pennsylvania, Tim, a history of wildmen, gorillas, and other hairy monsters in the Keystone State. And then Friday, we're going to round out the week with an interesting topic for you, the Museum of Shadows in Elmwood, Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever wondered, Tim, what happens inside the walls of a 127-year-old building once used for embalming and full of haunted artifacts and objects in the dead of night?
As a matter of fact, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
I have not, but I will find out what happens anyway when we talk to our guests, Nate and Kaylee Raderman, on Friday, plus a brand new Theater of the Mind. Tomorrow, Timothy.
Yes.
our Patreon site will have a brand new episode, and this is a really freaky True Crime Tuesday. Deadly Voices. Chris Swinney is my guest. We're going to talk about this. I mean, we've talked about a lot of serial killers on our show through the years.
Yes, we have.
Imagine this, if you will.
Okay.
One area being plagued by not one, but two independent serial killers.
Whoa.
At the same time. This sounds like something straight out of like a 1980s Stallone, Kurt Russell movie, doesn't it?
Tango and Cash?
Not that too, but I just meant like individual their movies. It seems like you would be hunting down two serial killers working independent of each other.
Right.
So this is a real case. We're going to talk about the serial killer Herbert Mullen, who terrorized the Santa Cruz, California area. At the same time, the infamous co-ed killer Edmund Kemper also killed in the area. Whoa. And what's really weird is you've got these two killers, two totally different styles. Edward Kemper, freak show, man. He killed like young co-eds, hence the term the co-ed killer.
Whoa.
There's no trick pulled over on them.
Nope.
But Herbert Mullen killed randomly, man. It didn't matter. He was out for blood. And when he killed, right? So he killed all types of people, but he's a very kind of slight man. Edmund Kemper is 6'9".
What?
Yeah. So how do you... 6'9", you would stand out literally in any crowd. How could you get away with that? It's like Chewbacca on a murder spree.
Yeah.
So that's True Crime Tuesday. That's tomorrow on our Patreon site. And if you have not signed up yet, shame on you. It's really easy to do. $5 a month. That's only $1.25 an episode. Gives you 4 brand new 90 to 120 minute episodes every week delivered. So go sign up. You just go to darknessradio.com. Click on the True Crime Tuesday tab, and it'll take you to the Patreon page. You can sign up. They'll send you links for the new episodes. You can sign in and listen to the shows. And I guess you can also take the RSS feed and put it into like your iPhone so that it brings it right to your iPhone. I didn't know that. I'm not a techie, and I do not have an iPhone.
Oh.
But you can do that, and then I think we're working on a way to do that with our app.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm trying to figure that out, too.
The way Patreon works, and I went through this with somebody who said, well, can I just take and download the show into a thumb drive and take it with me? Well, no, that's not how Patreon works.
Right.
But you can take the RSS feed, like you said, and put it into any podcast player that you have. For example, like you said with the iPhone, you can put it in Apple Podcasts, the RSS feed link, and then you can listen to it from there. So if
you are not drunk enough, sir. Have another shot.
I'm sorry. Here we go.
That was making too much sense.
So that's kind of how Patreon works. So you want to listen to it on your computer. You want to listen to it, in Google Play,
you can always shoot emails to me too, and I'll forward them to our people if you're having trouble. But it's pretty easy. We've cleared over 500 people sign up already.
Yep.
Our goal to have 2,500 on with this, and we're going to just keep knocking out brand new True Crime Tuesdays every week.
That's right.
And that's the way we're doing it. Let's get started. It is Margarita Monday here on Beyond the Darkness, and we are going to share stories, paranormal stories in the news, and maybe I'll get around to some Parashare if I'm still capable of reading at that point. So let's get started, Mr. Dennis. Where shall we begin in today's news of the strange and supernatural?
I'm getting salacious right off the bat, Dave.
Okay.
Right off the bat. First of all, we were at Wizard World all weekend long. I'm not going to lie, people. I've had a little bit to drink. And when Daddy's drinking, the women's is looking fine.
Oh, God.
And here's the deal. When I'm at Wizard World, there's some women dressed up in cosplay. And by the way, just because you're dressed in cosplay, no still means no, guys. I'm preaching to you right now.
Tim learned that the hard way this week.
I did. I got slapped so much I thought I was back in the ring at IWI.
Yeah.
But no doesn't mean no. You just can't go up and just, whatever with someone dressed in cosplay.
Okay.
But there were plenty of women who looked strange and alien-like and fine as hell. I'm not going to lie.
I do appreciate good cosplay.
Oh, yes. Although there is one man who says he did lose his virginity to an alien. Now, I got to ask you this, Dave. You're young David Schrader.
Yes.
You're out there on the lawn in Illinois saying, gosh, I love me some women. And one lands on your lawn, and let's say you haven't tripped the light fandango as of yet.
Right.
and an alien one lands on your lawn, are you thinking that's the one you take the first shot with?
Got to be better than a sweat sock. So why not? I think I've been primed for that for years, Tim, because I
just had a thought.
I see women at these conventions dressed as aliens, tricked out and kind of creepy, but I'm still kind of turned on.
I know, right?
Is that wrong?
No.
So I'm thinking, and I've even seen zombie girls.
I know, right?
And you're like,
yeah.
I will put you back in the ground
right.
the hard way.
I get where that creepy mortician went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
now, I just had a really bad thought. What if that's...
Are we going to get to a story?
What if that sweat sock was an alien?
It could be.
Oh, my. An artist has...
He was just coming by to check up on that.
I know.
He had no idea what he was in for when he crawled into a teenage boy's room at night.
He was totally like, this is good camouflage.
No, it's so bad. It was so bad.
No, put me down. I know that poor alien.
The imagery.
This guy says he lost his virginity to an alien, claiming the man who...
We're recording at my home today, and my cat is off the rails. I think apparently licked a couple of shots out of our glasses when we were not paying attention, because he's running about meowing like he's on fire.
Must have got into my
so go on.
bottle too.
This is what?
So this man says he actually fathered an extraterrestrial hybrid. So he's hitting one for one.
Wow!
Not only did he lose the virginity to the alien, he successfully stuck the landing
straight out of the chute. First,
literally
and figuratively.
Yeah,
he became a papa. Wow!
Stuck the landing. Yeah. An artist has told how he lost his virginity to an alien who gave birth to an alien-human hybrid. In an extraordinary documentary. 72-year-old David Huggins, who creates oil paintings of his many alleged encounters with extraterrestrials. Oh my, that must be interesting art. Makes the shocking claims in a new documentary called Love and Saucers, which is a great band name, by the way, if you ever want to come up with a band
gentlemen,
name.
First Avenue is proud to present Love and Saucers.
Didn't we play them in the college rotation?
I think so, yeah.
I think we did.
No, that was Love and Rockets.
Oh, right.
Love and Saucers is a totally different thing. Their new hit album, Stinky Sweat Sock.
I don't want to see anybody's loving a saucer because that would just be gross.
All right.
He described how he was 17 when an alien named Crescent seduced him after haunting him in his sleep. No! Don't grab me by the stripes. They soon became an item and regularly had sex, he said. But Crescent is no oil painting, according to the image Mr. Huggins holds up when describing his nights of passion, saying proudly, "Virginity lost!" He's so proud.
Virginity lost.
Mm-hmm. The film opens with David from Hoboken, New Jersey, in the United States.
What film?
The film that he made called Love and Saucers, evidently,
okay.
Yeah. Making the bold claim, when I was 17, I lost my virginity to a female extraterrestrial.
I was just 17, and you know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. Yeah, that's a Venusian for you, man.
I'm going to throw in the crying game here. How does he know it was female?
Wow.
Huh?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I was assuming he was an outie, not an innie.
Yep. David claimed after moving to New York to study art, he was haunted by Crescent in his sleep and became an item regularly having sex.
I feel like we're just repeating the same parts over and over. This guy's bragging.
I'm fascinated. I may be repeating the story. The pairing even resulted in her giving birth to an alien-human hybrid, although there is no further detail on what became of the child. Any guesses?
You are the father?
I am.
I don't know.
David is consumed by the alien UFO subject, and his living room is filled with books and about 2,000 videos. I think he's a little proud. His obsession was sparked by a 1965 Doctor Who episode called The Web Planet, which features giant alien ants. But he claims his first encounter with an alien was age 7 or 8. He grew up on a remote Georgia farm, but he was put off from religion after being taken to a hardline Christian church. The first creature he claims to have seen was a short, glowing-eyed, hairy guy, which ran into the woods. Probably because he had a schlong out. I'm just saying.
You sure look swell in them shorts.
That's actual audio, by the way.
I know. I'll dress up like a female alien and seduce the boy.
It's actual audio from Hoboken, ladies and gentlemen, and why the alien would have ran. Not long after he was sprayed with a gray sticky liquid by a praying mantis-like humanoid, he claims. Right.
Wow.
The praying mantis got him with the money shot.
I guess.
The mantis beings are an alleged race of alien visitors, according to E.T. believers. During the 50s, he claims his childhood...
I love that song from the Monkees, E.T. Believers?
E.T. Believers, yeah, and Homecoming Queen. During the 50s, he claims his childhood consisted of a series of bizarre encounters, including alien greys and a tall Nordic-like, human-like being who was in charge of the mantis. I bet he was.
Okay.
The greys and Nordics, or tall whites, are other examples of an alleged alien species identified by believers. Jeffrey Kripal, whatever, a professor of philosophy and religious thought at Rice University, Texas, believes David is sincere in his claims and is just telling the truth. Are you up here for a sip, Mittens? Would you like a little something?
Mr. Mittens, my cat, is attempting to figure out what is going on in Margarita Monday.
He says...
Daddy usually drinks alone and in shame in the closet.
We're out of the closet today, Mittens. He sees David's encounters in the same context as a religious or sacred experience, so similar to blind faith. British UFO researcher Nigel Watson, author of the UFO Investigations Manual, said, unlike other documentaries that have an agenda to prove or disprove the existence of UFOs, or that subtly coach their subjects to look or sound ridiculous, director Brad Abrams simply allows David to tell his intimate, fascinating, and incredible story. Love and Saucers is directed by Brad Abrams, of course it is, with his wand,
is he
his
related
magic
to
wand.
JJ? Will there be lots of sparkle shots?
There will be. There will be lots of lens flares and wiping off the camera.
Okay.
And its UK release date is to be confirmed, and that's the name of that tune.
Okay.
There you go. Starting off Margarita Monday with a bang.
How about a clink?
Oh, a clink. Yay. Oh, that hurt my ears.
That hurt mine. Where are we going next?
Well, we go from starting off Margarita Monday to a bang to the supernatural still retaining its magic. Mm-hmm. Despite criticism, ghost hunting groups and members of such groups are growing and thriving around the world. Their popularity is fueled by television shows, films, the internet, and increasing availability of high-tech equipment and detailed books like Ghost Hunting, How to Investigate the Paranormal. This particular book is written by Lloyd Auerbach, who we had on recently, director of the Office of Paranormal Investigations, and covers the investigative process from the initial call and assessment to the on-site investigative techniques and technology. It explains how to come up with solutions and resolutions and ways to get rid of the phenomena, and goes on to discuss fraudulent cases besides looking at other non-ghostly happenings with paranormal explanations. The book also includes use of technology and the use of psychics in paranormal investigations, and explores if anyone can prove the existence of ghosts. Such books and articles incorporating a common-sense approach to investigating ghostly happenings, including apparitions, hauntings, and poltergeists, are avidly read by many ghost hunters. However, critics cite instances of some so-called paranormal groups that mimic the methodology of a traditional ghost. Their primary goal, though, is to frighten the client into a belief that they are in danger and that immediate action to cleanse the home is imperative. These groups will quickly act to confuse the client by pointing to a certain item in the home as being possessed, and will then offer to remove said items to make the home safe. Typically, these items are antiques, relics, or family heirlooms, or maybe even a sweat sock that will later be put on display in a paranormal museum, or maybe tacked to the wall on its own, making it paranormal. Hosted by the said group, where a charge is incurred for admission to view such articles. Curiously, individuals engaged in ghost hunting and paranormal investigation, whose numbers appear to be growing as quickly as groups,
we are legion,
seem to come in for less trenchant criticism than groups. By the way, trenchant is the word of Margarita Monday.
All right. Every time we use the word trenchant, let's have a shot.
All right,
and
trenchant.
I think that ended our shots right there.
That did. According to encyclopedic sources, individuals engaged in ghost hunting and paranormal investigation have varying motives for their activities. Some ghost hunters consider themselves hobbyists whose primary motivation is the excitement of the hunt and thrill and possibly experiencing something supernatural.
What was that word? Experiencing?
Experiencing, Dave.
Experience.
I have some Southern in me right now, and I'm talking about comfort.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Experiencing,
Dave. Others consider themselves serious researchers who follow a number of scientific protocols and share documentation of their research with other groups in an effort to discover proof that ghosts exist. They often go about their pursuit in a prescribed manner to gather evidence of paranormal activity at a given location or debunk false positive reports of hauntings. Many established groups fall into this category. Still others consider themselves to provide a service and focus their investigation on offering comfort and assistance to individuals who feel they're experiencing unexplained or paranormal activity at a home or other location. The approach of these investigators is to alleviate the fears of the occupants, not the occupants, not alleviate them, but the fears of the occupants by listening to their experiences and providing assistance and reassurance. The gist of the article is that there are other groups I
prefer gists.
I do, as opposed to other gists that we were talking about earlier. There are other groups, too, such as those who have an open mind about the existence or non-existence of ghosts. The starting point for this group seems to be innumerable ghost stories and a surely they can't all be fiction approach. Then there's the group of diehard ghost believers who were once diehard skeptics or critics who were converted by actual first-hand encounters with the ghosts or ghostly happenings at haunted places or other very personal paranormal experiences. The swelling number of people interested in the paranormal in America at any rate is reflected in a 2013 Harris poll, finding that while most U.S. adults believe in God for all religions, the percentage of believers that declined from 82% in 2005 to 74% today. That's quite a bit. Correspondingly, the poll showed that belief in the supernatural had gone up. The poll found that more people, about 58%, believe in the devil, that Darwin's theory of evolution is around 47%, and almost as many people as those believe in Darwin's theory believe in ghosts, right around 42%. The poll revealed further that 36% each believe in creationism and UFOs, 29% believe in astrology, 26% believe in witches, and 24% believe in reincarnation. Incidentally, the 2013 Harris poll was the last of its kind to date.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or is it? Why do you think they stopped taking the Harris poll at that point?
Witches.
The government's trying to shut us down from our knowledge? The world is becoming conscious of the supernatural, and we got to shut it down?
Maybe.
What else have you got for us in the way of supernatural news?
We go to Hollywood, Dave. Where Oscar winner Helen Mirren is talking about her experience filming at the Winchester House. More specifically, we go to San Jose, where a spotlight is shining on one of the South Bay's most mysterious landmarks with the production of a movie featuring an Academy Award-winning actress set at the Winchester House. Oscar and Tony and Emmy Award-winning winner because I'm going to take a drink. Hold on. Let me start over.
Please.
Oscar, Tony, and Emmy Award winner Helen Mirren stars in Winchester Mystery House, a historical thriller about real-life rifle heiress Sarah Winchester. I think she owned the Smith & Wesson factory.
No, it was Winchester.
Was it Winchester?
Yes, Winchester.
Oh, okay.
Hence the name Winchester.
Oh, I learned something new today.
It's about time.
Winchester was famously convicted. She was convicted of gun assault. Winchester was famously convinced she was haunted by the souls of those killed by the guns that made her family rich. Boy, there's irony for you. Yeah. While some of the movie was already filmed in Australia on Friday, Mirren was shooting scenes at the actual house in San Jose. When asked what it was like filming in the real house, Mirren said with a laugh, "Far out, as we used to say in the olden days, it was fantastic." She still uses the phrase far out, Dave.
Groovy, man, groovy.
I know, right? This week, the movie crew is shooting in one of those 160 rooms, in the mansion. They created a larger version of the house to use as a set in Australia because some of the spaces in the Winchester house were just too small for shooting. Guns, that is. I'm kidding. A first look photo of Mirren from the production was recently released. You can't see it because it's a podcast. That's just my radio joke for the day. It reveals a striking resemblance between the actress and the historical figure she plays. Yes, it's rather frightening, and I don't think Sarah was frightening, actually, in the original photograph, Mirren went on to say. She actually got a mysterious little smile, a Mona Lisa-like smile on her face, was the quote. The picture is the only known photograph of Sarah Winchester. The heiress constantly constructed and reconstructed rooms for 38 years. At one point, there were 600 rooms in the mansion. Some say she slept in different bedrooms so the spirits couldn't find her. Wait a minute, really?
Yes, this is part of her legend. And that's why she would not quit building the house, was the belief. She was told that as long as the house was under construction, the ghosts would leave her alone. So she would switch rooms. She would have stairways that would go to places that there was nothing there. She would have doorways that opened to nothing to try to confuse the spirit world. So it's this crazy enigma of a house.
Does that logic make any sense to you whatsoever?
If you're dealing with a life full of guilt because of all the death that was associated with your family's creation, and maybe there's a touch of madness in there, Tim.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of hooch. Maybe you start believing in that stuff.
Why don't you just hand her a blanket and go, hey, Sarah, here's a magic blankie.
Yeah.
If you hide under it, they can't see you.
I don't know that that's necessarily true.
At one point, as Dave was pointing out, there were 600 rooms in the mansion. Some say she slept in different bedrooms so the spirits couldn't find her. She also built stairs, as Dave was mentioning, that led to nowhere and a maze of secret passageway to throw off the spirits. Because she was cagey like that. The third floor of the house is said to be the most active in terms of ghosts. One area in particular, called the Witch's Cap, there's a green thing near it in the article, is where Winchester was believed to communicate with the dead because she was trying to throw them off, evidently.
No, I think she was always in contact trying to figure out what was going on and how she could appease them.
Oh. She was also an innovator of her time, installing the latest technologies and appliances at the home, and used only the finest materials that money could buy. This house is a manifestation of Sarah Winchester, and I think in that sense it's haunted, said Mirren. Shooting at the house is expected to go well into Friday night and is scheduled to wrap on Saturday. Winchester Mystery House is set to be released in early 2018.
All right.
There you be.
All right. What's our next tale of supernatural interest?
Let's see here. We go on. Let's continue on the ghosty trail, shall we?
Yes.
A ghost is my bodyguard, says one paranormal investigator who evidently is too much of a chicken to stand up for himself.
No, but you need help against the paranormal realm.
Oh, I just figured I'd make that a little more salacious than it actually is.
You really want to pick on a guy with a ghost for a bodyguard?
Yeah.
You will get blindsided and sack punched and not even know where it came from.
That wouldn't be the first time. I saw Cato Kalin this weekend. I sack punched him plenty of times.
Punching.
Yeah.
Cato Kalin.
He never knew it was coming.
How did that guy continue any kind of life and career?
Do you have a favorite?
When your only association is, I lived in a guest house of O.J. Simpson when he murdered his wife and allegedly murdered his wife and allegedly murdered her friend. How is he somebody? I'm not slighting. You can make any kind of life you can in this world. Am I jealous? Maybe.
Do you have a favorite Cato Kalin story from the weekend?
No. Favorite and Cato Kalin do not go hand in hand. Although he did. How random is this? Out of the crowd, picked all three of my daughters on different days for contests and gave them shirts. So all three of my daughters ended up with Wizard World T-shirts gifted to them by Cato Kalin.
Oh, there's a heartwarming memory.
It's something. He was a horrible MC. Oh, my God.
I do have one.
Okay.
If I can just share briefly, and then I'll get into this story. It was Friday night, beginning of the convention.
Right.
And we were all kind of standing there. We were walking around before our panel.
Please tell me this ends with him holding you tenderly.
No. I was standing there. I was talking to your son, intern taller than me. And there was a man in a costume who walked by in a elephant dressed as Deadpool with a Hello Kitty backpack costume.
Sure.
And as he walked by, I said, intern taller than me, I will give you $5 if you'll go up and kick him in the nuts. And he said, I'll take that bet. I could use the $5. I said, hey, all right, hold on. Let me go get my $5. And as I'm reaching in my pocket to get my $5, I look across the room and I go, holy bleep, is that Kato Kalin? And he goes, yeah, Uncle Chick, I think that is Kato Kalin. I go, wait a minute, let's change this. I will give you $5 if you go kick Kato Kalin in the nuts. And he said, I'll do it for $3. So I saved $2.
So your favorite memory of Kato really had nothing to do with Kato other than making him the target of my son's
anger, yes.
Precision like nut kicking skills.
Yeah, and ability to make money.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
And to make a deal. Okay. Evidently, your son is a shrewd businessman.
Although he would not do it, so I give him credit for no.
Oh, I just wouldn't give him the $3. Yeah. I didn't want him to get arrested. I didn't want him to get arrested. It was so early in the con, and he looked like he was having fun.
And I was working.
So yeah, you were working.
Bad to get arrested at Daddy's work.
It would be, yeah. A paranormal investigator claims he has befriended a ghost who protects him.
He has what?
Befriended a ghost.
I'm pretty sure you added a few extra syllables. Befriended. Befriended.
Befriended a ghost, Dave.
Uh-huh.
As opposed to Burberrying a ghost.
Okay.
Who protects him when he probes the supernatural.
Supernatural, then.
Not if you're sewing this stuff up.
Okay.
Mark Vernon of Wakefield said Kara, his ghostly investigating partner, has accompanied him on jobs to ward off evil spirits since 2013. So wait a minute. Kara is his ghostly investigating partner.
Yes.
All right, let me go further in this story.
Okay.
Mr. Vernon said, I've got a reputation for going after nasty spirits that are causing people harm or carrying out attacks, and I use Kara as my bodyguard.
Nice.
Oh, you big tough man, you. My belief is you need something bigger and nastier to sort it out, which is what she does. How much does Kara weigh? Not that I... Caraway. I love me some caraway rye. Would you like some right now? I mean, I'm a little hungry. I had a little bit to drink. I don't know if you know this.
Ay, that's muy bonita.
Ooh, Mexican food. I could go for tacos right now, too.
Have your margarita.
Okay. She warns other spirits off. Warns them, not wards them, but warns them off. She has never failed me, he went on to say. Mr. Vernon claims to have caught Karen photographs, video, and audio footage he has taken whilst investigating locations across the country. I believed I am the only person in the world who has a ghost as a partner on investigations, he said. And she is not camera shy. Oh, no. I've caught her on camera so many times.
Okay.
Doing what?
Well, protecting him.
Oh, Mr. Vernon said he was first spotted the spirit while carrying out an investigation near the old Eastmore fire station 4 years ago. We became friends there, and she now comes on investigations with me all the time, he said. Pictures and video were submitted by Mr. Vernon, it says at the end of the article. Evidently, there's video here, but you can't see it because it's radio. Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
Alrighty.
That's it for that one. Hold on.
My bodyguard is a ghost.
My bodyguard
is a book. That's going to be a book.
It's caraway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caraway rye. Oh, it sounds so good right now.
I don't even know what that means.
You never had caraway rye?
No.
What kind of Polak are you?
I'm not.
Oh.
My stepdad's Polish.
Well, what kind of Polak are you?
I'm only Polak by affiliation.
I got to talk to Jimmy. He's got to get you some caraway rye. It's good bread.
Good bread.
This man thinks he's found the ghost of an elephant in a Devon park.
Okay.
Right. We go to Devon. On Devon. Because whenever you go to England, Dave, it's everything on everything.
Sure, why not?
I think they like a good fight.
Well, I'm fond of the girl on girl.
Oh, well,
I've seen some videos from England.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if they're going to take each other on, who am I to stop them?
That's impolite. Go on.
No. Devon ghost hunters believe they've captured their first ever spirit animal on camera. Lee Compton from Plymouth said he has had his fair share of paranormal experiences since he first went to see a psychic with his sister many years ago. However, he's never experienced anything quite like this. Lee, who works closely with 3 others to run Paranormal Southwest Investigators, believes he has captured what seems to be the ghost of an elephant. By the way, Lee, that's not a trunk.
I'm looking at this picture. I will give you that there is an interesting swirl in the smoke pattern, But why would you assume this is an elephant? Is there more to the story? Will we learn why they believe that is truly an elephant?
Oh, yes, we will.
Okay.
Captured in Central Park, where the zoo used to be located, the photograph resembles the shape of an elephant, which Lee describes as a spiritual animal, Dave. The team consists of medium Donna Glock, Ryan Pashby, and Wes Ashton, along with Lee, who took the photo in July of 2016. They have not publicly shared the image in fear of people criticizing them. I took 3 images in burst mode. The first one is clear. The second one shows the elephant. The third is clear again, Dave. People pass it off as smoke, much like Dave has done. But I can swear down that it was a clear night, and none of us could see smoke, said Lee, especially when we were blowing it out our ass. No, I added that part, see, because never mind. The team has since researched and found out the grounds located behind Plymouth's Argyle Home Park, which used to be a zoo, and an elephant died in the 1960s at the zoo in a fire, Dave. That's how we sew this whole thing up.
So it's a smoke elephant ghost from a fire.
Right.
Bam. In the study with the lead pipe.
Right.
With Professor Plum.
And Colonel Mustard.
Mm-hmm.
They believe the elephant's name was Tammy.
Oh.
Well, because they had a psychic there.
Okay.
The psychic was probably dead on.
Mm-hmm.
Many people don't believe me. My friends regularly take the mick out of me, he said. He's Irish? Yeah. I think many of them are afraid of what might happen if they were to come out exploring with me, he said. Lee, who leads a normal life, spends his spare time... I feel like I'm yelling this in Shakespearean. Lee, who leads a normal life, spends his spare time exploring different areas around the city in hope of investigating the paranormal and learning historic facts in the process. Armed with digital cameras, voice recorders, and magnetic field equipment, the team have started to share their findings as they have too much evidence not to. Is that an excuse? As they have too much evidence not to?
No.
It sounds like they're being forced to do this.
It sounded like a double negative imperative with a dangling participle.
Hey, you leave your dangling participle on that side of the table, sir. I'm not that drunk. Lee believes he has a spiritual gift when it comes to connecting with those who have passed and is susceptible to capturing the dead. Speaking to the Plymouth Herald, Lee said, I'm not trying to fob people off, which I'll do if I've had another drink or two. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't waste all my money and time on trying to prove something if I knew it wasn't the truth. I don't ever really share my findings as people laugh about it, but I'm not ashamed. I hate all these TV shows where you see them swearing and playing up for the camera. It's not like that at all, he said. I would happily let anyone go through all my images so they can see it's not fake. It's just frustrating when you get evidence and it gets all slated. Lee explained he gave the images exclusively to the Herald as his findings belong to Plymouth. Oh, it belongs to Plymouth. I have no idea what that means. The group has previously explored the Royal Citadel, Palace Theatre, Plymouth Sound Studios, Shaw Prior, and Real Cinema. Some places are really eerie, said Lee. Lee has also delivered messages from loved ones and described it as an emotional thing to do. He told the Herald, it sounds weird, but I get something in my head, and it's someone telling me the answers. It's nice to be able to help people. I'm not going to tell you things you want to hear. Sometimes I get nothing, but when I do, once I've researched it, it's always turned out to be true. The group welcomes anyone to join them on their next hunt, but says he can't guarantee finding anything, and why would he? I don't charge people to come out with me. I've paid £30 before on tours, and it's all staged. It's these type of people that give the rest of us a bad name, Lee explained. When going out with the group, they simply ask you to bring your camera in order to help them capture anything they experience. That, by the way, is the name of that tune.
All right. Are we up against a break?
I think we may be, yes. We're, let me see, where are we at for time? I can't read my thing. Yeah, we are. We're at up against a break.
That's up against the break.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. We've got more of the best in paranormal talk radio on a Margarita Monday. This is Beyond the Darkness.
Beyond the Darkness.
All right, we're back on Beyond the Darkness. We've got more supernatural news on this. A Margarita Monday with your buddies Dave and Tim. Tim, where are we going next in the world of supernatural news?
Well, we continue over in what we like to call merry old France, Dave.
I don't think it's merry old England, Tim.
Oh, that's right.
It's finger-licking France.
Finger-licking France. No,
yeah, what's going on in France?
Actually, I have no idea. It's somewhere over in Europe, Dave.
Okay.
A ghost woman has been filmed lurking in a dark corner of a car park, and what happens next is terrifying.
It is pretty interesting. I will give them that. I don't know. I would find it terrifying.
Well, I wouldn't either.
But what's the story?
A chilling figure with a ghost-like appearance has terrified the internet after it was caught in we'll call it a parking ramp, because we're Merkins, Dave. CCTV. In the haunting video, a tall, slim woman appears in a dark corner of the area. Her head is slightly keeled over, and she has long, dark hair that almost reaches her hip. So clearly, she was from the 60s and a hippie, Dave.
No, I've seen the video. It is a compelling piece of video, but here's what I don't like about it. It looks like it's torn out of every Japanese horror movie. It's the woman wearing like the long white nightgown, the long stringy wet-looking hair hanging in front of her face, and the way she stands there kind of swaying. Do you see this in the video?
I do see this.
So that to me looks fake. Where I find it intriguing is what happens, because she just kind of she kind of walks in to frame in the corner. And then she's there, and then after watching her kind of move about and sway, she just kind of fades and vanishes. That, to me, is interesting. But because it's such choppy, black and white, grainy video, it seems to me like it'd be very easy to manipulate.
Manipulate? I know.
Manipulate.
Right. I've been there, too. If I told you if I had
easy to manipulate
$1 for every woman who's manipulated me in the past, I'd have $1. For around 25 seconds, the figure rocks slowly back and forth before suddenly disappearing into thin air. YouTube channel Scary Videos, how original, posted the clip on Tuesday, titling it.
Tittling it?
It did look like
they manipulated it and titillated it. Okay.
Titling it Ghost Tape. Boy, these guys are so original. Unknown creature caught on tape. That's the entire title. What you're about to see are haunted events encountered by real people, it begins. Some may find it disturbing. It's not clear where the footage was filmed, but the timestamp on the CCTV suggests it happened on September 27th, 2016. And it's not the first time ghouls have allegedly been caught on camera. Oh, no. An episode of Paranormal Show Most Haunted last month appeared to show a ghostly figure lurking in a derelict stable block. Despite the program running for 19 series, or we call them seasons over here, crew members said they had never seen anything like this before. A YouTube star was also recently forced to stop filming after hearing a haunting sound behind her. That was the actual sound. Actual audio, haunted audio of what forced her to stop filming. Right. Right, you are. That's the name of that tune.
Is that the end of that story?
I got nothing after that.
It's a cool piece of video, but it's too shenanigan-y for me.
Shenanigan-y?
Yeah. What's your next story?
Let's see. Hold on, I got to close out this tab.
Don't make me manipulate.
Oh, Dave, we're going to go to Hollywood, where there's many master manipulators.
Okay.
Right?
What's going on in Hollywood?
I saw this story last week.
Okay.
And when I saw it, I said, how dare Kingpin do this?
Oh. Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yes, yeah. Daredevil's Vincent D'Onofrio is going to star. Why didn't they just say Law and Order SVU? Or not SVU.
Because they're going with the more recent incarnation of his acting chops.
Oh, I see.
And I think he was probably more famously known now for Wilson Fisk.
Really?
Kingpin. Yeah, because that show blew up recently. When's the last time you watched SVU?
Well, it wasn't SVU. It was Law and Order...
Criminal Intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Criminal
Same
Intent. Same thing.
I've never watched
Why not the Jurassic World's Vincent D'Onofrio?
Because, again, that was a one-shot and done. He was in a very powerful season of Netflix's The Daredevil.
The Daredevil?
Why not?
Okay. Daredevil's Vincent D'Onofrio to star in a paranormal sci-fi series. Dave, it's all the rage now.
Right.
It's we've gotten away from reality paranormal series, and now we're getting into dramas.
Sounds good to me. Sign me up. I'm your actor.
So
maybe I could portray a ruggedly handsome and somewhat inebriated paranormal radio show host.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Oh, and
I would never buy
you
that.
wouldn't buy that?
No.
I'm not believable in the role?
No.
Damn it.
No.
I'm going to lose it again to the guy that, the famous dwarf actor from
we got it.
Game of Thrones?
But no.
Game of Thrones.
I got...
I can't think of that cat's name. What's his name?
I got the perfect guy, though.
What?
To play him. Mm-hmm. Play that guy on TV. Rick from Pawn Stars.
Yeah, shut up, jerk.
Wilson Fisk will be hunting down ghosts for his next role. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Daredevil star Vincent D'Onofrio is set to appear in the upcoming sci-fi series Ghost Wars from... Oh, God damn it, really? Ghost Wars? That's the best you could come up with?
You got to curse like that, man? There's people listening. God might be listening.
Well, even he's going to damn this. I don't
think so.
Ghost Wars from Continuum and Van Helsing's Simon Barry, who evidently...
Oh, I'm out. I'm out. If it's anything to do with the people behind Van Helsing, block.
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick. That's the best you could come up with.
Maybe it'll be good. Who knows? We got to be careful. We don't know who they're advertising with.
Who's the villain?
Of what?
Ghost Wars. Is it some machine-breathing...
It's a ghost. It's going to be a demonic
guy dressed in black?
Thing. Yeah. We can only hope. Why are you distracted, son? Get back to the story.
I feel like someone's punched me in the...
Get back to the show now.
Someone's punched me in the gut. The show will follow Victorious's Avon Joja, I believe is how they're going to pronounce him.
Okay.
As local outcast Roman Mercer, that's the name of the actor, I guess, who is to overcome the prejudices of his Alaskan town and his own personal demons to harness his repressed psychic powers and save everyone from the evil haunting the town. D'Onofrio leads a cast that also includes Kristen Lehman, Kim Coates from Sons of Anarchy. It could be redeeming. I like Sons of Anarchy. And Meatloaf.
Oh, no. Oh, can't we put him out of my misery?
By the way, Dave, interesting Meatloaf detour here.
Unless it is accompanied by some French fried taters, I don't know that I care to hear about it.
Oh, no, you want to hear this.
Okay.
Came out last week in a story.
Yes.
That the song, I Could Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That.
Right.
Was actually about butt stuff.
Was it really?
It was about...
But I won't do that.
It was about a sex act involving a strap-on.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
And he finally came forward with this story now. Why?
I guess
trying to become relevant?
I guess it's press for the show. I don't know.
God.
D'Onofrio, a star who probably...
But I won't do that.
Evidently he did to get the role. D'Onofrio, a star who probably looks pretty familiar. Why? Because he was kicking Daredevil's ass for 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Has an extensive resume ranging from Full Metal Jacket to Law & Order Criminal Intent to Jurassic World. We've pretty much given you his resume here in this story. There's no word yet
You forget he was also the Thor character in Adventures in Babysitting.
Right.
You remember that?
I do remember that. There is no word yet on who the actor will play, but his history of only signing on to intense epic TV shows definitely spells good things for the Ghostly series. I think maybe they're jumping to conclusions. Ghost Wars is not just a contemporary homage to classic psychological horror, but it's also an opportunity to tell stories about human politics and how we shape our beliefs and lives based on our individual perspectives and biases.
Blah, 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 blah. Boring.
Okay, we'll just wrap up that statement. There's no word yet on Ghost Wars and when it will premiere, but Deadline reports that it's expected to hit the air some point in 2017.
Okay.
Right, you are. Let's switch gears. A pastor was assessing a woman for demons just days before decapitation, Dave.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Boy, are we switching gears.
Yeah.
Pastor Terry Fox of Summit Church says Rachel Hilliard sought out his services for possible exorcism in the days before she was accused of beheading 63-year-old Mickey Davis. Fox said he visited with Hilliard in her home to evaluate her claims of possession for just a few days before the alleged crime occurred. Rachel Hilliard had asked a friend where she could get an exorcism. Her friend told her Pastor Terry Fox. A few days after Fox visited Hilliard's home and blessed it, police said Hilliard decapitated 63-year-old Mickey Davis in her garage. Did you hear about this story? I actually read about this story a while back.
What?
Yeah. Fox was traveling when he heard the news. He said he hadn't been able to tell during his visit whether she was possessed or whether she was just depressed. We were in the process of trying to evaluate her situation to see if it was mental or demonic, Fox said. We were only with her for a few days. If we would have had an opportunity to get to her, I believe we could have helped. I think if we would have had more time, perhaps we could have made a difference. It broke our hearts, Fox went on to say. Fox, the pastor at Summit Church in Wichita, said he had been doing exorcisms for more than 30 years, and outside of the Catholic Church, he is the most experienced exorcist in town. Fox is known for leading the push to prevent gay marriages in Kansas, where he was a pastor at Emmanuel Baptist Church. But in the past 5 years, he said his attention has turned elsewhere to the paranormal. The ministry is called SPI, Summit Paranormal Investigators, and Fox said he currently has cases from 17 states. Sometimes he travels to them, sometimes they travel to him. He said he serves doctors and lawyers as well as the homeless. He has enough work to do it full-time if he wanted to, and is writing a book about it. The inquiries don't stop. On Monday, he said he got 3 calls, and on Tuesday, he took 5 more. So it wasn't that unusual when Hilliard showed up at Summit, he said. Fox met with her and later made a visit to her home in South Wichita. The first step in paranormal investigations, he said, is to assess whether there is really a demon involved. Some people are just looking for attention, he said. Others just have psychological issues. Sometimes, he said, the demons can lead to psychological problems. He tries to ascertain whether they had dramatic changes in their personality or if their voices have changed. Frequently, he said, they will talk about being sexually violated by the demon, not a person, Fox clarified. Sometimes they will have scratches on the body afterward. He'll look for cuts on their body or demonic tattoos. Fox asks the people who ask for help if they have been practicing the occult and tries to figure out if they show abnormal displays of physical strength. In one of the very first exorcisms Fox said he participated in Texas decades ago, the woman broke windows and tried to use glass to cut herself. After the exorcism, he said she became a famous beauty pageant winner in Texas and is going to write a testimonial in his upcoming book. Fox learned early on about the biblical basis for the paranormal world from a couple of his mentors who said are well known in the paranormal world. In one famous Bible passage, Fox said, the 12 disciples came to Jesus because they couldn't get rid of some demons, and Jesus told them that these particular demons could only be defeated with prayer. There are lots and lots of references in the Bible to the demonic and spirit world you can't see, Fox said. Although Catholics have long dealt with the paranormal, Protestants have shied away from it, he said. Although some pastors in Wichita will pray with people, he doesn't know any pastors in town as educated and experienced as he is in the paranormal. He has a library of 75 books about the paranormal in his library, some based in theology and some not. I personally used to be more critical of other pastors that choose not to do this, Fox said. Who wants to get up in the middle of the night and go to someone's house and fight demons? I don't. I've done it for years.
Not again.
It's a tough ministry, he went on to say. He meets every couple of months with a large group of pastors in Wichita and said he is planning to offer training for them and how to minister to people whose lives are tormented by the paranormal. Most Bible colleges don't teach how to minister to people haunted by demons, he went on to say. Fox said he worked for law enforcement in Texas years ago and saw that occasionally officers would report the demented things that they saw, but many times they would leave it out of their reports. He recently read a story about 2 children in Indiana who took a friend into the woods and knifed their friends, who he said were later diagnosed to have been haunted by demons.
Yikes.
There's a reason, he said, that so many people watch shows about ghosts and ghost hunters, but most Protestant sects have been pretending it isn't a problem. It's easier to preach a sweet sermon on Sunday and go home, Fox said, but the reality is that there are a lot of things that happen in Wichita, Kansas that people have no idea what goes on. Fox has begun to promote his paranormal work more, including recently creating a Facebook page. The Facebook advertising combine classical images of people throwing spears or shooting arrows at devils with a modern woman walking through a burned-out building with flames. He knows Christians who work for paranormal hobby groups with sophisticated equipment and video evidence. Usually those paranormal groups will discover that the demon is real, then not doing anything to help, he said. Sometimes they refer clients to him. We're not Ghostbusters. We're not out there chasing. We're looking for ghosts. I don't have time to do that, Fox said. We deal with people who are calling us that are saying, we're in trouble here. Many times, the people he helps are not Christian, he said. They're so desperate because their kids are acting out or their marriage is on the rocks or they're thinking suicidal thoughts that they'll come to him anyway. He'll also look for clues in their home. One clue can be an upside-down cross. Another can be images of the devil. Or he said he'll take note of a painting that looks demonic. He said those dark objects are pretty obvious to most people.
Right.
There was not enough in Hilliard's home to make us think that, Fox said. In her house, she didn't have upside-down crosses. There wasn't physical evidence. Oftentimes, people will say they see flying objects or hear noises. He'll ask them if they are being treated by a psychiatrist or if they are taking medication or if they have a history of violence. Fox said Hilliard didn't mention or show any signs of violence toward himself or others. Although his business is confidential, he said because of the stigma in society toward talking about demons, he tells his clients that he has to report threats of violence. She was not aggressive to hurt anyone or herself. Had she been, I would have reported it, Fox said. If I thought she was a danger to herself or someone, I would have reported that. Hilliard wanted a full-blown exorcism, Fox said. He didn't do that, but they did pray over her house. The exorcism itself isn't that different from what's portrayed in the movies, he said. The movies will add a lot of special effects, but the basics aren't wrong. A lot of the things that inspire the movies is absolutely true, according to Fox. I wish I could say it's all silly. It's Hollywood, and there's no truth in it. I can't say that. My experience has been...
You can say that.
Well, he could.
You just did say it.
I
just can't mean it.
He can't say that, however.
And mean it, apparently, yeah.
Yep. He said, my experience has been the opposite. There are some very dramatic things that happen. In the extreme cases, the exorcisms can get violent. He said during one case, 5 different demons threatened him in his church and struck him physically, even though the person in whose body the demons were acting didn't remember anything about it. Violence is always a threat, Fox said, because the work is so volatile. He always tells someone where he is going, and they call to check up on him while he was there. That's why he said most people in his church don't want to help with the paranormal ministry. His son Tyler went on an exorcism with him once, and now he prefers to run the social media side of the ministry. Tyler, you brave boy, you. But unlike the movies...
Yeah, I'm just going to stay home and deal with Twitter, Dad.
Tell you what, Dad, you know what? I'll put your Instagram up of you getting attacked by a demon. You just go on, old man, and do your thing. But unlike...
Hashtag not again. Hashtag where depends.
Hashtag holy water splash.
Yes, no.
But unlike the movies, Fox said exorcism can take years to finish. Sometimes a demon will leave and then return. Sometimes he'll make significant progress and then have setbacks. He said that he has had miraculous success and other times couldn't help at all. The church doesn't change.
See, that doesn't make sense to me. That's where I have problems. We should get this guy on the show.
Okay.
Right now. Call him. Put him on speaker.
Hello, Pastor Fox. I'm having an issue.
What the heck? How can you be miraculously successful in some... Well, I guess. Here, right? And we'll talk to him about this. Okay. Maybe it's easier in some cases because the participants willingly want it out and are not going to do anything to keep it in. Whereas... what was I talking about?
How is it that he's successful at some times and other times he can't help at all?
Which point did I just make?
What was that part about the thing?
Anyway, maybe some people are easier to break because they want to get rid of it, and other people are not because they are they like the attention. That's, I think, the point I was... hoping to set out before Margarita Monday mind kicked in.
Could you bring that cross and holy water back over again? I haven't showered in 4 days.
Oh, my goodness.
The church doesn't charge for exorcisms, Fox said, but sometimes people will make an offering so they can offer the service to others in the future. Fox knows that it's kind of a pay it forward in the spiritual world, I guess. Fox knows that many people will say he's crazy, but he doesn't spend a lot of time trying to convince people he's right, he said, because he's so busy. He thinks because his church has credibility in the community, it has allowed him to venture into areas other churches are afraid to go. I'm telling you, this stuff is real, Fox said. Business will keep booming. The Bible predicts that there will only be more demonic activity as time goes on. He's quoted as saying he hasn't reached out to Hilliard yet. He said, but if she expressed interest, he would be willing to minister to her in jail. If what she is accused of saying is true, she is still a human being, and our hearts go out to her, is what he is quoted as saying. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, have you got another story for us? I know we've got a lot to catch up on in our stories. Yes. And to be honest with you folks, I just I don't feel in my current mental state I should do Parashare, because people took the time to write their stories and want to share and not be mocked or ridiculed, and I cannot guarantee that in the current state you and I are in, that will not occur. So it's best if we, I believe...
mock and ridicule others.
Right, we mock and ridicule silly news. And we're not mocking... Here's the deal. We get the supernatural. I'm going to go into over-explanation mode because I still get emails where people keep telling me, oh, these guys just, they're abusive and they pick on anybody and they hear these stories and they rip them apart.
And you're right.
And the news stories we laugh at because a lot of them are wacky.
Yeah.
Your paranormal encounter stories, we don't. There might be a line in there that makes us laugh or the inflection, but we don't put it down. We're believers, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Good gravy.
I mean, after all,
I feel better. I got that out.
I have a ghost on my pants. It's rising right now.
Good God.
I'm kidding.
All right.
This story.
Wow, that was loud.
Sorry.
I think you hurt my ears.
I'm sorry. This story comes to us from the world of TV, Dave.
Okay.
Ghost Adventures creator Zach Bagans.
I know that guy.
Is going to produce a new UK series, Dave.
Right.
Plus the newest spooky object for his museum.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Did you get Siri going?
Evidently I did.
Siri. How do you deal with a demonic infestation?
My web search turned something up for how do you have a demonic infestation. Have a look.
No, I don't want to have a look. I want you to tell me about it, Siri. Siri, have you ever been possessed by a demon?
Who? Me?
You're the only one here named Siri.
Well,
so, yes, have you ever been possessed by a demon, Siri?
I thought as much.
You thought you were?
I didn't quite get that.
You thought you were possessed by a demon, Siri?
Okay.
Oh, she's creeping me out. Put your phone away.
I was way over here. She just answered automatically. I didn't say anything that said Siri, did I?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Siri! Siri! Answer me, baby girl.
Why are you yelling at me
like
now.
That? Don't run away from me. You didn't mean a thing about the demon.
Where'd she go? She left you.
I don't know. She just
right.
shut up.
All right, let's get back to the story. Easily distracted.
Okay, Zach Bagans.
I know him.
I think you said that.
Yep.
Is one of the.
It's Dave Javu.
It's Dave Javu all over again. Is one of the most dedicated professional paranormal investigators in the world, according to this article. I'm just putting that out there. Bagans has worked hard to get a solid reputation, and his hard work is paying off. Not only does Zach and the rest of the Ghost Adventures crew continue to travel the world in search of paranormal demons and evidence of their existence, Bagans is expanding his career even further with special documentaries, his haunted museum in Las Vegas, and now a new UK series he will be producing. Dread Central recently announced the news of Zach's new UK series titled Help, My House is Haunted. What the actual?
I don't know, Siri. If you say help, does that get her going?
Hey there.
Hey there. Siri, why did you turn on?
Help. It's only when...
Help! My house is haunted. Weird experiences. Is that how it works? Do you have to say help and Siri chimes in?
She never answers me. I could be drowning right now, and she'd be like...
Tim, you're boring, and I'm going to go somewhere else.
I'm going to add weight to your phone so you'll drown. Wait, I'm going to put her in my pocket.
I want to mention... Are we done with that story?
No,
Okay,
I didn't even get into it.
All right, start over again. Let's go. And go.
The new UK series is titled... Oh, you know what it is, because I'm saying UK series and then Help. My house is...
Siri.
Yeah.
It's hearing Siri. Okay.
It's titled Help, My House is Haunted. The series, which will be created in the United Kingdom, will feature 12 episodes. Zach's new series will be using a phenomenal team of paranormal investigators that Baggins has found, and they are as follows. Chris Fleming, Sandy Landar, and Barry Guy. I believe that is Ghai. The team will be investigating the residents of families who believe their homes are haunted. The investigators will perform historical research on the properties and use specialized equipment as the Ghost Adventures crew does to assess the house for forms of paranormal activity. If they find spirits residing at the residence, they will either assist the homeowners to rid the property of the entities or teach them to coexist with their paranormal visitors. I don't know why that didn't make sense to me, but it didn't. Zach commented on the new project by saying, "My UK fan base is incredibly awesome, and I'm excited to create this new series for them. We are working with the best team that I could construct that will aid those families overseas who are being affected by severe levels of hauntings. One thing for certain, with Zach involved with the show, it will be entertaining and factual as possible. Help, My House is Haunted is set to air on the Really channel in early 2018. Aside from Baggins' latest project, Zach will be continuing preparations for his new haunted museum, which is located near the Las Vegas Strip. Baggins has been acquiring the most haunted and spooky items he can get his hands on. Zach's latest addition to the museum is a terrifying object that inspired the 2012 horror film The Possession.
The Dybbuk box, yeah.
Yeah, TMZ shared details of Zach's latest find. It's been shared that Baggins recently purchased that Dybbuk box that Dave, spoiler alert, just spoiled 2 seconds ago. The Dybbuk box is a wine cabinet, of course, that's reportedly haunted by an evil, restless spirit that's capable of possessing the living. Zach acquired the piece for thousands of dollars and will display it along with his other dark haunted finds at the museum. The Dybbuk, which is Yiddish for a malicious spirit, will be available for visitors of the museum to see, but only if they're over 18 and willing to sign a waiver. One thing is certain, the box will remain closed. Zach himself, if even too frightened by the... Zach himself, says the sentence, if even too frightened by the evil possibilities that inhabit the old cabinet, which that sentence makes no sense.
Okay.
As for when the Haunted Museum will open its doors, nobody has an exact date yet. Baggins took to Twitter about a week ago to reveal the opening.
Trying to say that 4 times fast.
This author's just trying to trip us up. Fans can't wait for the opportunity to visit Zach's museum and see it for themselves and the objects that Baggins is ready to display. It's asking, are you brave enough to visit? I think we all are, pretty much. Will you sign the waivers to view the off-limit, most terrifying object Zach has? Oh, we're ready. And as previously shared by the Inquisitor, Zach has also a doll for display, which requires the signed waiver as well. No photography or filming will be allowed at the museum as well. So there you go.
Wow. All right. How many more stories have we got there?
Good God, I have...
A couple more? Give me some titles. Let me pick a couple titles.
Okay, you can pick.
I want to pick.
Hold on. You can pick. Mothman Prophecies.
Maybe.
Loch Ness Monster spotted for first time in almost 9 months.
Maybe.
Mysterious photo of little girl in Cambridge is not a spirit.
let's talk about this story, because people have been blowing up our Twitter and Facebook feeds with this for a couple of weeks now.
This little girl looks like she's giving me the finger.
Right. So the whole idea here was that there was this trail cam set up in the woods.
Right.
In this exclusive part of the woods where nobody was supposed to get. Mm-hmm. And as they were trolling through the photographs, they find one isolated photograph of this, what appears to be this little girl kind of running towards the camera.
Right.
Part of her looks transparent, but I think that's because she's in motion, right? Her feet.
Right.
And so that's it. Now, what I found really strange about this is that the news reporter immediately leapt to the paranormal. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. They acted very like, could this be a ghost? What? That was kind of their first response, instead of, wow, do you know what's going on with this? And then they ask for help if you can identify the girl. And at that point, nobody had been able to identify the girl. But now you have a follow-up story to this.
Yep, we're sorry to disappoint local ghost hunters that a mysterious photo of a little girl in Cambridge, that's Cambridge, New York, by the way, is not a spirit. The blurry photo went viral after being passed around on Facebook, many people speculating that she's a ghost. It was the photo that had so many people wondering, was this proof that ghosts exist? Well, at least in this case, it's not true. The image was snapped from a field camera late March in Washington County. The property owner didn't recognize the little girl, so she took it to Cambridge. Greenwich Police Chief George Bell, who says that by that time, the photo had spread like wildfire on Facebook. The chief says he received calls from national media outlets and emails from psychics and mediums claiming they could help the young spirit cross over to the other side. Somebody's been proven as fake. Mm-hmm. Then came a phone call from the little girl's grandfather. I don't want to give a name until we verify it, but it's a local businessman in southern Washington County who says around the time frame that this picture was taken, that he and his granddaughter were walking a four-wheeler path, Chief Bell said. Word gets around in a small town, and we now know the grandfather is Chick Wilson, the owner of Willard Mountain Ski Resort in Greenwich. Some people were really hoping this was a ghost story, Wilson said. I absolutely do. Chick says he has no idea the photo was causing such a sensation until Tuesday when somebody taped a copy of the photo to his door. Chief Bell says he's happy just to put this whole story to rest.
Nice.
There you go.
All right. What were my other choices then? We had Mothman left. We had Loch Ness.
Creepy noises in the governor's mansion.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Cuomo.
Yeah, Cuomo. Cuomo.
If pressure of running New York State doesn't keep Governor Andrew Cuomo up at night, things that go bump in the night do. New York's governor's mansion is believed by many to be haunted, including former Governor David Patterson, and Cuomo says spooky noises are keeping him sleep-deprived when he's upstate. So it's me alone when I'm in the house because my family is in Westchester, not Winchester. There are stories that this house is haunted, Cuomo said Thursday. Now, I don't believe in ghosts, and I'm a big, tough Italian guy, but I'll tell you, it gets creepy in that house, and there are a lot of noises that go on, and you are very alone. Patterson told the Post that the 161-year-old Italianate mansion is beyond the specter of doubt haunted. Yes, to be honest with you, Patterson said when asked if there is a ghost. He even went on a phantom hunting expedition late one night while Governor Patterson was in the second-floor bedroom when he heard a noise that sounded like a vase smashing. He said he searched 2 floors of the building but never found the source of the mysterious noise. The next day, house staff told him he had a run-in with the home's oldest resident. I told the staff, and they all got quiet and left the room, he said. One came to me and said, Governor, nobody wanted to say this to you, but it's the ghost. One employee is afraid to clean one of the rooms because she thinks the ghost is in the room. Staff believe it is the spirit of a groundskeeper who served the mansion's original owners before the state bought the building in 1877, meaning nearly every governor since Samuel Tilden, including Cuomo's dad Mario, lived in a haunted house.
It's me, Mario!
No, Mario. No. And his uncle Luigi.
That's right.
Lived in a haunted house while governor in New York, according to Patterson. While Patterson was living there, his 5-year-old nephew revealed that he could feel an invisible hand guiding him while he climbed the mansion stairs, leading Patterson to believe the spirit is benevolent. Governor Cuomo should be relieved. The former governor said, "It's a friendly ghost like Casper." The mansion is not the capital's only haunt for the undead. The state capitol building is believed to be infested with the supernatural, and the state even offers spooky tours there.
Really?
So there you go. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They offer spooky tours.
Spooky tours.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What else have you got for me?
A bizarre clown encounter reported in North Dakota. That could be any of the residents of North Dakota.
Welcome to North Dakota.
So you got 3 stories to choose from: Mothman, Loch Ness, bizarre clown.
Let's go in order as we wrap up today's Margarita Monday.
All right.
On this Cinco de Ocho. We couldn't do Cinco de Nino.
Cinco de Nino Part 2.
But no, this is the prequel. This is Cinco de Ocho.
You're hooked on the date for some reason.
Well, you have to, because Cinco de Nino was the 5th of, or the 9th of May.
The 9th of 5, technically.
And today is the 8th of 5. And this is the 5th month.
Cinco de Ocho.
5th month. Did I say those words right? 5th month. Yes. They sound weird when you say words sometimes. Yeah. 5th month. And it is 8th of the 5th month, which would make it Cinco de Ocho. Yes. So see, we sounded crazy before, but we made perfect sense.
Cinco de Ocho. All right, the Mothman prophecies. Dread is legendary man-sized bird seen by 3 separate witnesses. Plenty of tequila going awry in this deal.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. 3 separate witnesses have reported seeing a huge man-sized bird, which has been described as Michael Keaton. No, I'm kidding. As resembling the legendary creature that inspired the book and film, The Mothman Prophecies. Dave?
That's easy for you to say.
That is not. The reports are being investigated by the U.S.-based Mutual UFO Network. The kids call it MUFON. MUFON is the world's largest organization dedicated to UFO and alien research, but also looks at other paranormal cases reported to it. The Mothman creature stems from West Virginia folklore. It was a legendary creature reportedly seen in Point Pleasant area from November 12th of 1966 to December 15th, 1967. Those were the Devil's Salad days, Dave. Yeah. The first newspaper report was published in the Point Pleasant Register dated November 16th, 1966, entitled "Couple See Man-Sized Bird Creature Something." That's what it said.
Okay.
It was later popularized by John Keel in the 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, which claimed there were supernatural events related to the sightings. It was turned into a film starring Richard Gere, and it just says "in," and then it doesn't finish the year. Roger Marsh, MUFON Director of Communications, said a Mothman-type creature is being reported in Chicago by 3 separate witnesses over a 4-hour period, according to 3 witness reports from the MUFON Witness Reporting Database. The cases took place between 10 p.m. on April 15th and 2 a.m. on April 16th. Please beware of all case details until an investigation is complete. At this point in the investigation, a hoax cannot be ruled out. The first witness was out on Lake Michigan with her husband and 2 other couples celebrating a friend's birthday. She said, "We were about 2 miles out on the lake just off Montrose at about 10 p.m. We were enjoying ourselves when I happened to look up and saw what looked like a giant bat, and not like a fox bat or a foxy bat, because some of them are pretty damn sexy, Dave. This bat was as tall as my husband," she said, who is 6'4".
I am the Knight. I am the Batman.
Or even bigger.
Do you have a sandwich? I'm hungry.
By the way, I'll take that worm. It's pretty delicious. She said it was solid black with eyes that seemed to reflect the moonlight. She was looking right into its eyes. That's romantic. She added, "This bat circled the boat 3 times in complete silence before heading off towards Montrose." It was reflective, by the way. It quickly blended into the night sky and was gone in seconds. About 5 minutes after seeing the creature, the same witness saw a bright green object traveling north to south at the horizon. She said, "I began feeling this overwhelming sensation of dread and told my husband that I felt that it was prudent that we get off the water as quickly as possible." 30 minutes later, another witness was hanging out with my boys and a few friends in Chicago at 10:30 p.m. She said, "As we talked about work and our families, we heard that what sounded like a bird flapping its wings. One of my homies yelled out that he saw a huge lechuza over by the road.
Is that like a chorizo?
Yes, It's like a delicious chorizo. The lechuza is a Mexican urban legend or myth about an old woman who can turn into a giant black bird, Dave. Oh. I dated her during my first radio stint.
You did? I remember meeting
her. In Wisconsin. She added, we walked over there and saw what looked like a big owl. I shopped at the Big Owl. It's a great grocery store. As we walked up on it, this owl stood up on 2 feet and looked right at us. We saw what looked like a huge lechuza. Except it was about 6 feet tall and really big. It had large glowing red eyes that were completely freaking everybody out. The third report, Dave, was at 2 a.m. on April 16th. The man said, I arrived for work at 2 a.m. at the Chicago International Produce Market just off Damon. And as I walked across the parking lot, a bunch of guys were staring up at the sky. I said, hey, is that a bird? The other said, is that a plane? The other said, no, it's a big freaking owl. I'm kidding. He said, I looked up and saw the biggest freaking owl I've ever seen. I'm 6'2", and I'm guessing this thing was at least a foot taller than me. It was a completely black thing, except for it having bright yellowish reddish eyes like a cat. It stood there for a minute or two, staring at everyone before shooting up into the sky and disappearing. It made everyone feel very uneasy and only took off after some guys threw some rocks at it. Throw a rock at it, it'll go away.
Go on, shoo, you big creature.
It had wings on it, because that's how everybody in Chicago talks. It had wings on it.
One's throwing rocks at giant birds might be.
Hey, you over there.
Hey, get off of my hat bag.
Hold on a minute. Stan, you got something to throw at this thing? Hey, here's a rock. It had wings on it like an owl, only bigger, and you can hear it flap. Now I'm reading like that. And you could hear it flap those wings when it took off.
When it took off.
Illinois MUFON State Director Sam Maranto and other staff members are investigating the bizarre reports. Mr. Marsh added, this account is taken merely from the early witness reports filed with MUFON. Please remain skeptical until witness interviews have been conducted and more case evidence is assembled. That's the name of that tune.
All right. Is that about it? No, we got a Loch Ness story, right?
We got a Loch Ness story
and a clown. All right. What's going on in Loch Ness? Now, I know there was a silly story popping up about a week ago where he'd been seen, and it was just some moron holding a pink Loch Ness monster head, stuffed animal, and brought it up. So there was that. But is this a too legit to quit story?
Too legit to quit. Loch Ness monster is spotted for the first time in almost 9 months, and he fears that the beast had gone missing. By the way, the Loch Ness monster was on Guinness bottles everywhere.
What?
No, I'm kidding. The Loch Ness monster's it was on. I'm sorry. The Loch Ness monster's official recorder had admitted he was worried. He worried sick that there had been no sightings of her. This is the moment the fabled Loch Ness monster was officially spotted for the first time this year. Sighs of relief were breathed everywhere in Scotland, bringing more than 8 months of uncertainty to an end. Nessie's official recorder admitted he had been worried after a dry spell of sightings meant not one person had claimed to have seen the beast since August of last year. A 28-year-old tourist captured what she thinks is Nessie after she saw something that looked like a neck sticking out of the water. Some people reported that Ron Jeremy was swimming on his back. Swimming on his back!
Well, I see where you're going with that.
Haley Johnson believes she...
He's more of a hedgehog than he is a Loch Ness plesiosaur.
Haley Johnson believes she photographed the fabled monster yesterday. Gary Campbell, keeper of the sighting register, said there had been previously sightings at that part of Loch Ness before. Enthusiasts were so concerned about Nessie that Gary Campbell, the official recorder, revealed he had fielded calls from as far afield as Adelaide and Moscow, but tourist Haley Johnson from Manchester saw a strange and dark shape at dusk in the loch's Urquhart Bay yesterday, said to be a favorite haunt of Nessie. The 28-year-old, a care assistant from Abbey Hay, Manchester, said, I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm a really skeptical person. I've never been to Loch Ness before, but I decided to come up for the bank holiday. because even banks need a holiday and time away, I think is what Peter Cetera said. I had stayed, no. Oh. I had stayed in a backpacker's hotel, and on my last night decided to go for a walk through the woods and ended up on the banks of the loch. It was lovely, and at dusk, then about half a mile away, I saw this dark shape sticking up like a neck, and I thought at first it was a tree, but it was very strange. I took a picture. It was there for a couple of seconds, but when I looked back, it was gone, and I was shocked. I was really excited about Nessie as a child, but to be honest, I thought Nessie had probably died in the 1930s. I didn't think she was alive anymore. I know now that she is very much alive. I'm just so excited, and it's unbelievable what happened. Gary said there have been sightings of Nessie before. This is a credible sighting, but it's obviously unexplained. I was quite worried that there had been an 8-month gap since the last sighting, and so was the whole world, it seemed. I fielded calls from around the world, from Moscow, Adelaide, and California, everywhere, asking what had happened to Nessie. I am relieved and delighted with this sighting, and so will the planet. Last year was a record year for the 21st century with 8 sightings, and then she seemed to have disappeared. Nessie is seen in the winter, much like a hedgehog or a groundhog, but she's much more common in the summer. That is why it is so unusual that nothing was seen. The reason for the summer sightings is twofold. There are more people around in the summer, and she likes to be photographed. But more importantly, there are much more longer daylight hours, and the weather tends to be better, and there's more people out. He said 2016 was a fantastic year for Nessie sightings, which he put down to the growth of smartphones and webcams. He added that 2 of the sightings were by webcam, including one from an online watcher in America. Gary said it means that there are more people than ever before looking for Nessie, which would explain the rise in last year's sightings.
All right, wrapping up supernatural news on a Margarita Monday on Cinco de Ocho. Mr. Dennis, our final story.
Can I just give one disclaimer, by the way?
Please.
I don't want the emails saying there was thunder in the background the entire time.
What?
This.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they complaining?
A little bit.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm multiple tasking.
That's all right.
I'm pulling up Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals for tomorrow.
Okay. We go to Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay.
North Dakota.
I like that place.
Where a group of children in an apartment complex in Fargo claimed that they encountered a menacing clown with a knife and a man with a snake. You know.
What?
Yeah.
All right, the clown with the knife I could tolerate because he's going to get my peppered with my pump. What do you call it?
Pardon me.
Pellet gun.
What?
Remember I talked about
the pellet gun.
Yeah, I was ready to take aim at any clowns that showed up in my little wooded area.
Getting peppered with your pump is a whole different thing.
Pump pellet gun.
Oh.
Yes, but now there's another one with snakes?
Yes, a man with a snake.
Okay, what's going on?
Maybe he's just proud, and that's not a snake. The strange scene unfolded on Saturday evening when the kids were approached by the 2 ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells, yes.
Who allegedly asked the youngsters if they wanted to see a dead body.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole plot of Stand By Me happened.
This sounds like a mix of Stand By Me, It, and something
right
yet I have not figured out.
And then threatened to kill them.
Yikes.
In Fargo.
Hey, you want to come see a body over here?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to take you guys out, and I don't mean for ice cream. Well, one of the individuals was clad in a clown mask and wielded a knife. His companion may have been even more frightening as he carried with him a 3 to 4 foot long boa constrictor, Dave. So They're going to kill him slowly. As one might have expected, the youngsters were terrified by the strangers and then ran off to tell their parents about the incident, leading to local police being called to investigate. Authorities say they have identified the clown in question, as well as his purported snake-toting friend, and the duo may face felony charges for terrorizing should the state decide to proceed with the case. Why they wouldn't, I have no idea.
Take them apart. Do it.
With April showers having given way to May flowers, one can only hope that the warm weather will soon arrive throughout the country and will not bring with it a return of creepy clowns like the epidemic of last year.
Yeah, that's got to be over. Let's start up a new epidemic of scantily clad Disney princesses.
Pardon me?
That's all I'm asking. if we're going to be haunted by things that are unexpected, we've done the clowns. I would feel much better if scantily clad Disney princesses popped out of the woods and beckoned for me to follow, Tim.
I can't decide if that's hot or disturbing.
I think it's a little bit of both. Isn't that the that's the allure of it?
Okay.
Because what clown in his right balloon squeaking mind would think somebody's going to follow him into the woods? But a scantily clad Disney princess, bearded or not, may be just enough to draw me out of my home.
Hey, a hot bearded princess, Disney princess?
I'm just saying there's possibilities there.
Grab my beard. I'm waiting for that magical phrase. Grab my beard.
You need help more than I do, I think. All right, listen. This is what's going on tomorrow. Linda Zimmerman's on the show discussing her book about Hudson Valley UFOs, a myriad of cases of triangles, saucers, abductions, and sightings ranging from 1908 to the present. And then for True Crime Tuesday, this is a really interesting show, Deadly Voices with Chris Swinney. We'll talk about serial killers Herbert Mullen and Edmund Kemper, two serial killers who worked at the same time in the same area and were not connected. As a matter of fact, they hated each other.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's a fascinating story. That's True Crime Tuesday tomorrow. You can sign up and subscribe to that by going to darknessradio.com. Click on the True Crime Tuesday tab, and you'll find the information there. That's it for today's Supernatural News. We want to thank you all for chiming in and being a part of it with us this week, and hope you enjoyed it. And I need a drink. How about you, Tim?
Oh, yes.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.